So, if I just had to look at 4 fundamental drivers, and this in fact is the research that we've conducted with about 852 organizations in the country to identify India's best workplaces for women. A study that we run along with Outlook in India. And if we had to talk about it, I think the foundation remains the same. It is fairness, right? It would be fairness in pay, promotions, and performance evaluation. However, I'd like to call out, a distinction here that, and, when we usually go to organizations, they say that, we believe in non-discrimination, but non-discrimination does not necessarily mean inclusion. And that's actually a spectrum that an organization needs to traverse, right? So that's number one. And I remember having the good fortune to interact with Tony Prophet, the Chief Equality Officer of Salesforce, when he'd come down to one of our conferences in India. And he spoke about the scenario where they did not know that a pay disparity existed. And neither did their CEO, so neither was the CEO aware, right? So how are we as organizations putting in place certain checks and balances to ensure that we are consciously including or not subconsciously creating more disparity, right? So I think that's the first foundation, which is fairness. I'll quickly talk about the other 3, Sumit. I also know we're short on time. The second piece is around career opportunities and growth, right? And I think this is where managers, line managers, mentors, senior leaders within an organization come in. And this is critical. This is where the advice would be ask, do not assume, right? It is our role as managers and senior leaders when opportunities open up and you have, applicants from the system who are applying for, on-site opportunities or for a project that's working on tight timelines or a different shift. It's very important for line managers and leaders to ask and not assume that a few women in their team may not be up for that particular opportunity, right? So ask, clarify, and continue to provide equal opportunities. I think the third key driver that came out was an emotional and psychologically healthy workplace. This is where organizations are doing a great deal of work. Cisco is an organization that I take also a lot of inspiration from, and globally they're among some of the best workplaces. We had we had their chief people leader actually come in for the conference this year, and she spoke about how the philosophy around designing people policies has gone from work-life balance to work-life integration to actually acknowledging life, right, of employees. So how are you designing your people policies a little more in line with that's contextual to the life of your people? I think the last piece is candid communication. And it's such it was very interesting, point.
The operating word being candid.
Exactly. So how are we creating psychologically safe workplaces for people to be vulnerable? We run a lot of workshops with senior leaders and managers. And, I think my submission to the group is please let me know, because I have my own unconscious biases that I carry with me. But at the end of this session, here's a link, and I want you to share feedback with us so that we know where those unconscious biases are. And I think these are practices where, I think if you are a little vulnerable and open, you'll also find individuals who are able to bring their whole selves, but more importantly, their best selves to the workplace.